Hello, once again, my dear friends. In this video, we'll compare and tell you what is the best location to live in Cebu City. Of course, when you're traveling for the first time in any country, picking where to stay is one of the most challenging things. But why hear one perspective of my own when you can hear a bunch of them? So I'm going to read the questions and read the suggestions. Then I'll go ahead and compare them to my own opinion and experiences within those answers, and stick around till the end while I share my personal thoughts about where is the best location to stay in Cebu City, Philippines. If you're new to the channel, which I know most of you guys are because over 90% that watched the last video were not subscribed, take a quick second. I know you're just sitting there anyways. Hit that subscribe button. I'm making my way to 1,000 subscribers. Let's get into it. Someone says, I plan to stay in Cebu City for a month. Is it too much trouble to stay on Mactan Island? How troublesome is it to get an Uber to Cebu City's bars and malls? Like I said, let's jump into the answers. Here's the first one. Search on Airbnb. It doesn't matter where you stay unless you only want to bar hop for the whole month. To drive around Cebu takes about 3 minutes per kilometer on average. Ayala and IT Park is convenient. Mactan is more relaxed. Going from Mactan into Cebu City Center is indeed a challenge, but not later at night after 9 p.m. Enjoy your stay. Everything this person says is accurate. Before we get into what I think about his response, here's some information between Mactan and Cebu City. Mactan is a smaller island located just off the coast of Cebu City, while Cebu City is the capital of the province and bustling urban center with historical landmarks, shopping centers, and a vibrant nightlife. Mactan is known for its beaches, resorts, and proximity to the airport. Cebu City offers a wider range of amenities and attractions, while Mactan is more focused on tourism and relaxation, which is, if you've never been to Cebu City or Mactan, Mactan is just a little bit off the Cebu City small island, highly focused on resorts, beaches, and relaxation. Going back to the first response to the question, it is true that Cebu City is quite small when you consider it in comparison to some other capitals. However, due to recent rise in condominiums, tourism, and just an influx of people, traffic and congestion is getting pretty bad around Cebu City, especially when you're coming in and out of the town. They have two bridges now connecting the Mactan Island to Cebu City, but still there are smaller nearby communities like not Dumaguete, I was gonna say Dumaguete, but like Mandaue, and there's different regions where they're really busy, like IT Park or Ayala Business Park. Some of these names may be not familiar to you, but I'm going to get into a bunch of that in a second. But everything that person said is true. I could not disagree more. Mactan is more of a relaxation, whereas in Cebu City, just like any other major city or medium-sized city around the world. Another person says, there's no Uber in the Philippines. Also, you'll hate it the first time you have to cross the bridge, unless it's the Cordova Bridge, which only leads to SM Seaside, and some subpar eating choices in Tu Corso. Better choose which one is more important, seashore access or bars and malls. Then pick your base and travel to the other choice once a week. There are bars and malls in Mactan as well, though maybe not as fancy, but still. Okay, so this is where I get into some of the most obvious things that are there, but we should really talk about. It really comes down to you as an individual. Who are you? How old are you? Are you by yourself? Are you single? Why are you in Cebu City? Why are you in Mactan Island? Are you there for 2 weeks, 2 months, 2 years? What is the duration? What do you aim to get out of your trip to Cebu City? So when you have that in mind, when you know that, then you can make your stay much easier. If you're a long-term stayer, if you're going to be staying there a longer period of time and you're by yourself, I personally recommend Cebu City, and you can go into Mactan Island, the resorts, because don't forget, many of the beaches that are public and accessible are not the best choices. You do have to pay a daily access and usage fee to enter some of the most beautiful beaches on Mactan Island through the resorts. So they have day passes, but it's only once a week or twice a week. It might be 10, 20 bucks. It's still definitely worth it, especially if you're coming from North America, to see such beautiful beaches without having to go to like a nearby island. I'm going to get into that in a second as well. So yeah, let's not forget, it comes down to yourself. What is it that you want? And that can actually make a decision on where to stay. If you're on a short vacation, perhaps 2 weeks, you're just here to get the sun, relax a bit by the beach, then maybe Mactan is the place for you. It's close to the airport. That's where the airport is. As soon as you get off, you probably will have like a hotel pickup or whatever. It's going to be closer to your resort. Get in there, do what you got to do. And if you're a long-term stayer, perhaps you want to stay somewhere where there's more malls, just more people and more things to actually do in your regular day life, because that's where the carbon market is as well if you're like a long-term stayer and you want to save some money on groceries, vegetables, fruits, all the local, even fish and meat and things like that. You would probably want to make a trip to the local carbon market once a week or twice a week, or maybe you can hire somebody to do delivery for you. I don't know, but let's go on to the next response to the person's question. Someone says, there's a bus terminal that will take you into the city at much lower cost than a private Grab. Yes, so a private Grab, if you didn't watch yesterday's video, Grab is one of the most popular ride-sharing apps in Southeast Asia. It's equivalent to Lyft or Uber in the West, and it's accessible anywhere in Cebu City. So Grab will cost you probably about 30% more than a white meter taxi if you don't want to hassle with people or be worried about getting scammed and all that. However, Cebu City generally is okay, and once you get a hang of things, if you want to really save money, of course, you can take a local public bus or jeepney, or even like these minivans they have that are air conditioned, will take you from Cebu City to Mactan. And there are bus stops all over Cebu City. There's one at Southside Bus Terminal, Northside Bus Terminal, SM Bus Terminal, Ayala Mall Bus Terminal, IT Park Bus Terminal. So most likely you're going to be within the range of either one of these bus terminals. And if you're really brave and if you really want, you can go ahead and choose a motorcycle taxi. The good thing about the Philippines compared to Vietnam or even Thailand, in the Philippines, the motorcycle taxis, they'll give you a helmet. So at least you're protected in your head. And because there's so much traffic, usually you're not really speeding to get bad injured. You might break an arm or two. If you really don't care about that, you can try them. I've done it the whole time I've stayed there, but I feel so comfortable that that's just me. You guys be safe and probably just take a taxi or a minivan. Another person says, Ayala is a spot. You can eat, drink, party, shop, or just hang out. If you want a comfort and convenience, it can't be beat. With a short stay, just get close as you can and walk to it. Excellent point. So in Cebu City, Ayala is one of the most popular, if not the most popular spot. It's called Ayala Business Park. And it's this neighborhood where there's a lot of businesses, offices, even governmental buildings, and I think some consulates of some countries. I think the Canadian consulate actually within Ayala Business Park, if I'm not mistaken. Regardless, Ayala Mall is the go-to place in Cebu City if you want to do all the things that were just mentioned. Now, if you know you're going to be there for a short period of time, or you don't want to settle anywhere and you just want to kind of get the lay of the land, staying at the Selenia Towers would be an excellent choice. I think they're connected to actual Ayala Mall. You can walk into it and it's easy, breezy. If you want to go for a couple drinks in Ayala Mall, there's of course the Social, which is the most popular bar, as well as TGI Fridays. And now there's a Chili's and a steakhouse coming soon as well. So Ayala would be the perfect ideal place to stay. According to this person, and I could not disagree. And it's a great place to meet people. If you're there to date people, if you're there to meet a woman, it's an excellent place that's nearby your place. It's a public place for her. And if things go well, you guys can just walk over to your place and watch a movie, let's say. So yeah, not a bad choice, Ayala, 100%. Another person confirms this by saying, I wouldn't stay on Mactan. Stay near Ayala Mall or IT Park. Based on everything we said previously to this comment, you can choose to stay in Mactan if you want, but know that Mactan is really focused towards actual resorts, right? And a lot of Koreans and Japanese and Chinese tend to stay there because they're usually there for a shorter period of time and they're just there for a couple weeks. Nothing wrong with that, but just some information to know regarding the kind of demographic that stay there. Another person writes, it will be 1 or 2 hours each way during heavy traffic. No Uber in the Philippines. Yeah, no Uber, but lots of other choices. So don't worry about the ride-sharing application. But the traffic can be an issue as previously mentioned. So be sure to plan your trip early in the mornings or in the evenings to avoid that traffic, unless you don't mind just playing on your phone while the taxi meter runs. It's like anywhere in the world, take the transport. I'm not sure what that means. Let's skip that one. I don't even know why I read it. Someone says, if bars and malls are your main focus, then stay around Fuente, Ayala, or IT Park. Then it will be much quicker and cheaper to move around to these places. Late at night, the taxi ride from Mactan might only be 350 pesos, which is about $6, 6.5, and take a 25-minute, but in the daytime could be 500 pesos more and more than an hour. Traffic. Yes, so Fuente Circle is where I think it was really popular maybe like about 5 to 10 years ago. Fuente Circle, from my own experience of going there, is really not that impressive. There's one major condominium there called Horizon 101, and I went there in a couple different rooms just for visit a friend, let's say, and I wasn't really impressed. It's too big, it's too congested. The elevators are slow. I saw a roach, if that's a thing for you, because the population, like, I don't want to judge the whole building, but I was just not impressed personally. I just felt like nearby areas were a little bit shady, maybe not a good reputation based on the prostitution that goes on there and the foreigner bars that are there. Unless you want to hang out with that crowd, I don't know. I'm not judging, but for me personally, because I don't drink, so bars aren't my priority. Plus, there's bars in IT Park is a really like up and coming area. It's been for a while now, and there's rooftop bars in IT Park as well. If you want to have a nice classy drink, you just tend to meet women that, unless you just want to meet, I don't know, hookers or something, you can go to anywhere really. But I just feel like because the call centers are all located in IT Park, the type of women that generally hang out in some of these areas that I've visited tend to be a bit more classy, a bit more respectable. I mean, at the end of the day, women are women, men are men. If they're down to do whatever, they'll do it. But the point is, just from an appearance thing, personally, I just want to represent myself in a good way. And not saying everybody in Fuente, Circle, or bars is a bad person, but let's just say it doesn't have the greatest reputation, that area. Within some circles. Those were some of the top comments and my response to what they said. Now let me give you my personal opinion on where is the best place to stay in Cebu City if you're a first timer coming to the Philippines. As I mentioned throughout this, it really depends on you and what you're looking to get out of your vacation, your stay. If you're here to scout a place, if you're in the Philippines, in Cebu City, to see if that's the type of place you want to live, I highly recommend honestly staying within Ayala Business Park, because you're just new to the city. You're probably a first timer and you want to slowly work your way into the Philippines culture and neighborhoods and the people, and you want to have some comforts of Western country just as a stepping stone, or stepping, whatever you want to call it, to your actual immersing yourself into local culture. So it's got a lot of Western restaurants. It's got a lot of Westerners, familiar faces, people that you could probably relate to back home, have a conversation. Oh, you're from this state or whatever. So it's an easy transition, I would say, for sure. Also, because it's close to all the other things, because Cebu City is not just about IT Park or Ayala Business Park. There's like different things you can do in Cebu City that, for example, historical places you can go ahead and visit. Like I mentioned earlier, there's Carbon Market, but there's also like the downtown area that's closer. Yeah, maybe you want to go ahead and just take a walk around old Cebu City. There's just convenience, I would say. Stay in Ayala Business Park area. And my number two would be IT Park, where I stay most of the time. And IT Park is excellent because it really feels like a campus, a university campus full of younger people in their 20s and 30s, full of life and energy. Many, many, many restaurants, Korean, Japanese, Western, even Filipino restaurants if you want to try some of the local cuisine. There's the night market in Ayala. Sorry, not IT Park, I should say. The Cebu Mercado, one of my favorite places in Cebu City, which I frequent very regularly, 3 to 4 times a week at least. I go to the Cebu Mercado night market to try different varieties of foods, because at the night market, so technically I guess it is street food, but they are permanent structures, restaurants that have been there for who knows how long, and they've kind of perfected the system, and they make fresh food every night. So I go there and I try different foods all the time. Some even seafood lovers would love it there. As far as IT Park, and one more thing about IT Park, it's an excellent place to meet people. If you're here to date people, if you just want to say hello to some friendly faces, and IT Park itself, it hosts some events in the evening. There's live music in Cebu Mercado. There's people dressed in anime just walking around playing guitar. It's just a very lively environment. So my top 2 places would be Ayala Business Park, number 1, and number 2 would be IT Park area. And I mean, like we talked about earlier, there depends on what you want. If you want quiet and peace, I don't really know, because I've always stayed within the city centers. One last thing, if you're a digital nomad or need to work from home or need the internet, staying at places like IT Park and Ayala Business Park is excellent, because there's a lot of actual call centers, as mentioned earlier, that provide services to Western countries. So the internet around that area tends to be much better, perhaps in some smaller areas. And that was it. If you enjoyed these types of videos, or this video, take a quick second. I mean, you're sitting there anyways, right? So just hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, let YouTube know you enjoyed this video. And then I'll see you guys. Oh yeah, leave your comments down below. Let me know what is your favorite place, or what is your ideal place to stay within Cebu City. And anything you want to share, if you take the time to write it, I'll take the time to respond. See you guys next time.